to our podcast. Today we are talking about sugar in our daily diet, hidden sugars, and how much we consume. I'm Eva, and my co host is Katarina.
Hi, I'm excited to discuss this important topic today.
So, first, what is sugar and why do people like it so much?
Sugar is a simple carbohydrate that gives quick energy. People enjoy it because it makes food taste sweet and more enjoyable.
I agree, but too much sugar doesn't give important nutrition, right?
Exactly, that's why it's important to balance our intake. And the problem is that many people don't even notice how much they eat.
How much sugar do teenagers usually consume?
Experts recommend around 25 grams per day. That's about 6 small teaspoons of sugar.
6 teaspoons already sounds like a lot.
Yes, but many teenagers eat around 50 grams per day.
Wait, that's about 12 teaspoons of sugar every day.
Yes, almost double the recommendation.
That's honestly shocking when you imagine 12 teaspoons of sugar in one glass. So, now we know how much sugar teenagers consume. But here's the important question. Where is all that sugar actually coming from? Can you explain what hidden sugars are?
Hidden sugars are sugars added to food and drinks that are not obvious. They can appear in products that seem healthy.
So not just candy or chocolate.
Exactly. Sometimes the sugar is hidden in everyday products.
Which food contains the most hidden sugars?
Soft drinks, flavored yogurts, breakfast cereal, sauces, snack bars, and ready meals often contain added sugar. Even low-fat products may have a lot.
Really? Even low-fat products?
Yes. For example, one bottle of iced coffee can contain around 8 teaspoons of sugar.
8 teaspoons in one drink?
Yes.
That's almost more than the whole daily recommendation in just one bottle.
Exactly. That's why reading labels is important.
Why can too much sugar be bad for health?
It can cause tooth decay, weight gain, and increase the risk of diseases like diabetes. It also affects energy and concentration.
So when students feel tired after a sweet snack, that could be because of sugar.
Yes, sugar gives quick energy, but then it drops quickly. That's why people feel an energy crash.
That makes a lot of sense. What small changes can students make to reduce sugar?
They can drink water instead of sugar drinks, choose fruits instead of snacks, and check labels before buying food.
Those are simple but effective tips. Even small changes every day can reduce several teaspoons of sugar.
Exactly.
Finally, why should we care about hidden sugars even in healthy foods?
Because it helps us make better decisions and balance our diet. Awareness can prevent health problems and improve energy.
Exactly. Small habits can make a big difference. Before we finish, here's something to think about. Tonight, check one product you eat regularly. How many teaspoons of sugar does it contain? And did that number surprise you? So, today we learned that hidden sugars are everywhere, and teenagers often consume more than recommended.
Yes, being aware of sugar intake helps us make better daily choices.
And balance is key, not avoiding sugar completely, but making smarter decisions.
Thank you for listening, everyone.
Bye!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Clara, and I'm going to be your host today. Today, we are going to talk about nutrition and mental health. And with me are Tina and Benjamin.
Hi.
Hello everyone, I'm Tina.
This podcast is recorded as audio, but you can listen anytime. Pause, replay, and download the episode. Let's start with a simple question. How does the food we eat affect our mood and energy during the day? Benjamin, can you please start?
Yes, of course. So, if we eat, let's say, sweets in the morning or some fast food, we will genuinely feel happy, but our bodies won't really like it because it's not a good source of energy. But if you eat some fruit or vegetables, it's much better for you.
That's a very good question. Food has a big influence on how we feel during the day. When we eat healthy and balanced meals, we usually have more energy and a better mood. Our brain needs good nutrition to stay focused, calm and productive, especially at school.
Thank you. Next question. Do you think skipping meals or eating too much sugar can affect our mental health and why?
Yes, I think that eating too much sugar can affect your mental health, and it is very addictive, and for that reason it can make you depressed if you don't get to eat sugar. And also, skipping meals means you don't not get enough energy, so you can really be unhappy, I think.
Skipping meals can be very harmful because our body doesn't get enough energy. This can make us feel tired, irritated, and unable to concentrate. Too much sugar gives quick energy, but after that, we often feel exhausted and moody.
Thank you. What small changes in our diet can make us feel better mentally?
Small changes in our diet can make a big difference over time. For example, eating breakfast regularly or choosing fruit instead of sweet can improve our energy levels. It's important to make changes slowly so they become habits.
Yes, I think it's the same with water. If you regularly eat more water than you drink other drinks, juices, or alcohol, you get to more energy, and that's very important.
I agree. Let's talk about school. Do you think school should teach more about nutrition and mental health? Why not? Why yes?
Schools should definitely teach more about nutrition because students spend a lot of time there. Learning about healthy food helps young people understand their bodies better. It also improves concentration and mood.
Yes, I agree. They should teach us that in school because you know how they say, what you eat is who you are.
Have you ever noticed a change in your mood after eating unhealthy food?
Yes, for instance, if I eat a lot of sugar, I kind of get happy, but it doesn't really help me, so I get kind of sad later because I cannot eat sugar all the day, so it's unhealthy.
Yes, many people notice change in their mood after eating unhealthy food. After fast food or sweets, I often feel tired and less motivated. My concentration gets worse and I don't feel as positive as before.
Yes, me too.
And for the end, here is a question for you. What food helps you feel calm, focused, or happier? You can write your answers in a comment down below. So today we talk about how nutrition can affect mental health and moods and focus. Thanks our guest for this discussion and thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Goodbye and see you in the next episode.
Hola chiquitas, Choda presenta el canción. Qu'est-ce que si, que paso, mala.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Franca.
And I'm Chiara, and today we're going to talk about a very important topic, sustainable eating.
Sustainable eating means choosing food that is good for our health and also the environment.
We will be talking about what it means, why it matters, and if it really is possible for young people.
Today we're not alone, we have a special guest.
Welcome, Margot! Hi Franca, hi Chiara. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here.
Margot, let's start with a simple question. What does sustainable eating mean to you?
To me, sustainable eating means eating food that doesn't harm the environment. It also means more local food, less food waste, and not eating too much meat.
That sounds good, but some people think sustainable eating is difficult or expensive. What do you think?
I don't think it always has to be expensive. For example, buying local food or even cooking at home can save a lot of money and time.
I agree, but fast food is cheaper and faster and people are tired and lazy.
Yes, I understand that. We don't have to be perfect, but even small changes help, like eating vegetables more often or not throwing food away.
Now, let's talk about teenagers. Do you think sustainable eating is realistic for young people?
Yes, I think it is. I think that teenagers can choose what snacks they eat, drinking more water instead of soda, or even small things like talking about their families about food.
I'm not sure. Teenagers don't really eat and cook what their parents buy.
That's true, but I think teenagers can still influence their parents about sustainable eating. For example, they can ask them for more fruit or vegetables, or even telling them to buy food with less plastic packaging.
I think social media also helps. Young people learn about sustainable food on TikTok or Instagram.
But it's also confusing because some people say that you must be vegan to eat sustainably.
I don't really agree with that. You don't have to stop eating meat completely to eat sustainably. Even eating less meat can make a big progress.
Food waste is a big problem. How do you think we can reduce it?
We can plan meals, buy only what we need, and even use leftovers. For example, yesterday's fruit can be used in a fruit salad, or vegetables can be used in soup.
I sometimes forget stuff in the fridge and then it goes bad.
That happens to everyone, and it is completely normal. Maybe you can write a small list or check the fridge more often, and that could maybe help.
I think schools should also teach about food and sustainability.
Yes, because if we learn young, we can change habits more easily.
So, Margot, do you think sustainable eating is the future?
Yes, I really do think that, because the climate change is real and food plays a really big role. So I think that our choices really do matter.
Yeah, I agree, but I think we should not feel guilty if we are not perfect.
Exactly. I think that sustainable eating is all about balance and not stress.
I think that's a great message.
Thank you, Margaret, for this interesting discussion.
Thank you, Franca and Chiara, for having me.
And thank you to our listeners for listening to our podcast.
Think about your food choices.
And make one small change this week.
Drop a comment,
like,
and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.
Bye!
Hello everybody, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Frano.
And I'm Samuel.
And today we'll be talking about eating healthy on a low budget.
We chose this topic because many people think that eating healthy is too expensive, but we actually disagree with that.
Yes, we believe that eating healthy doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You just need to plan well and choose the right foods.
Exactly. There are many nutritious foods that are affordable and easy to prepare. For example, rice, pasta, potatoes, and oats are very cheap and give you a lot of energy.
And when it comes to protein, eggs, lentils, canned tuna, and Greek yogurt are also very healthy and affordable.
A lot of people think that healthy food means expensive products like protein bars or special fitness meals, but that's not true. Basic foods from the supermarket are often healthier and much cheaper.
Another important thing is buying fruits and vegetables, since they are cheap, healthy, and can be used as a replacement for snacks. Make sure to not buy too many though, because they go bad fast.
I agree, and that's why planning your meals is also very important. If you plan what you're going to eat during the week, you avoid buying and cooking unnecessary food you won't eat and wasting money.
Making a shopping list before going to the store helps a lot too. When you stick to your list, you don't buy snacks or things you don't really need.
I agree, but in my opinion, cooking at home instead of ordering fast food is the most important thing. Home-cooked meals are usually healthier because you control the ingredients and portion sizes.
I agree, but consistency is key. Keeping our diet consistent and not going back to eating unhealthy is very important.
Either way, to sum it up, eating healthy on a low budget is possible. You just need simple ingredients, good planning, and smart shopping.
We hope this episode helped you realize that healthy food doesn't have to be expensive.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
See you next time.
Hello everyone, my name is Patrick.
My name is Mate.
And welcome to our Eat Healthy, Think Healthy podcast. Today we are talking about ultra-processed foods and why they are important for our health.
Yes, this is a very interesting topic because many people eat ultra-processed foods every day, sometimes without even thinking about it. So let's talk about it.
So, ultra-processed foods are foods that are made mostly in factories. They usually contain many added ingredients like sugar, salts, oils, artificial colors, flavors.
They are very different from natural foods. Natural foods are things like fruits, vegetables, eggs, rice, or fresh meat. Foods that are simple and not heavily changed.
Yes, and some common examples of ultra-processed foods are like chips, instant noodles, soft drinks, packaged cookies, sugary cereals, and fast foods like burgers or nuggets.
And that is exactly the problem. These foods are very popular because they are cheap, easy to find, and ready to eat. So it's not weird everyone eats them.
But eating too many of them can be really bad for health. They often contain too much sugar, salts, and unhealthy fats.
Because of that, they can increase the risk of obesity, heart diseases, and diabetes if we eat them too often.
Also, here is an interesting fact. In some countries, more than half of people's daily calories come from ultra-processed foods, and that's a lot.
That is really bad, but it's also kind of surprising and shows how common these foods are today.
So, now can I ask you, Mate, what do you think? How can we recognize ultra-processed foods when we are shopping?
One easy way is to check the ingredient list. If the list is very long and contains many words you don't understand, it is probably ultra-processed.
Oh, yes. And another sign is when food comes in bright packaging and can stay fresh for a very long time.
Also, if the food is ready to eat immediately and doesn't look natural, it is often ultra-processed.
So, then what can we do to avoid eating too much of this type of food?
A good idea is to choose fresh foods more often, like fruits, vegetables, nuts, eggs, and simple meals. Those meals can also be very delicious.
Oh yes, or we can try cooking at home. That also helps a lot because we know exactly what we're putting into our food.
And it is important to remember that we don't need to completely stop eating ultra-processed foods. It's okay now and then, but balance is the most important thing.
Yes, that's true. Eating them sometimes is okay, but we should not eat them every day.
So, to finish, ultra-processed foods are very common and convenient, but eating too many can harm our health really.
And by reading labels, choosing fresh foods, and cooking more at home, we can make healthier choices.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
That was all. I hope that we acknowledged you about this problem, and see you in the next one.
See you.
With another episode of the podcast with Bruna
and Ivona. Today we are talking about healthy and sustainable school snacks with a focus on zero waste ideas. We chose this topic because we eat snacks at school almost every day, but we often buy snacks with a lot of plastic packaging and a lot of sugar.
Yes, and honestly sometimes we don't even think about it. We just grab something quickly, you know.
So we wanted to share some simple ideas that are good for our health and also good for the environment.
Firstly, let's talk about what healthy snacks actually are.
Yes, and what even counts as healthy.
Healthy snacks like fruit, vegetables, nuts, yogurt, or homemade sandwiches give us long-term energy.
I agree with you. They actually help us focus in school. They are better than chips or sweets, which only give us a burst of energy. You feel energetic for like 10 minutes and then tired again.
Exactly. Sustainable snacks are snacks that don't create a lot of waste.
So, less plastic, right?
Yes, less plastic and also less food waste for our planet. Zero-waste snacks are a great example of that.
Oh, and they are actually easier than people think. Secondly, we want to share some easy zero-waste snack ideas.
Okay, this part is very practical. One simple and healthy idea is to bring fruits like oranges, apples, bananas, or grapes in a reusable box instead of store-bought packaging.
Super easy. And no trash. I love it. Another good idea is bringing nuts or dried fruit in a small container.
You can also make homemade snacks like energy bars, banana pancakes, bread, or muffins.
Yes. I actually do this when I go out. I bring food from home, so I don't have to buy food at the bakery. Honestly, homemade snacks are the best.
Absolutely. When you make food at home, you can control the ingredients and the packaging.
And what about sandwiches?
Sandwiches are classic. Sandwiches are also a great school snack if you made them with the right bread and toppings and store them in a lunchbox.
Exactly. Simple but good.
Oh, and drinks. Very important.
For drinks, it is better to bring water, tea, or lemonade in a reusable bottle instead of buying juice at school, which is full of sugar and comes in plastic that we throw away after one use.
Yes, reusable bottles really make a difference.
Finally, why are zero-waste snacks important?
They help protect the environment and reduce the amount of trash at school. Less plastic means less pollution.
Exactly. And wait, there is another reason. Another important reason is our health.
Healthy snacks help us feel better, have more energy during the day, and help us focus better in class, which we really need, honestly, especially on Mondays.
Yes, I agree.
The best thing is that zero-waste snacks don't require as much preparation as some people think, and they help us feel better overall.
So it's not hard, just small changes.
Yes, it's about making small, better choices every day that can help the future.
So today we talked about healthy and sustainable school snacks and easy zero-waste ideas.
Yes, and we hope you got some ideas.
Our question for you is, what zero-waste snack would you bring to school?
Tell us.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget, small choices matter.
You can follow, subscribe, and comment what topic you want next. Until next listening, bye!
Hello everyone and welcome to our podcast.
We are glad you're here with us today.
In today's episode, we are going to talk about an interesting topic, nutrition myths. Many people get food advice from Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. Some of this information is helpful, but much of it is not true. In this podcast, we will explain a few common myths and the real facts.
All fat makes you fat. The first myth is that all fat makes you fat. This is not true. Healthy fats are important for our bodies. Foods like avocados, nuts, and olive oil help our hearts and help our bodies absorb vitamins. Fat can be healthy if we eat the right type and the right amount.
Another common myth is that carbohydrates make you gain weight. In fact, weight gain happens when we eat too many calories from any source. Complex carbohydrates, such as whole grains and vegetables, give us energy and fiber. Our bodies need carbohydrates to work properly.
That's true. Skipping meals helps you lose weight.
Another myth is that skipping meals helps you lose weight. In reality, skipping meals can make you very hungry. This often leads to overeating later. Eating regular meals helps keep our metabolism stable.
You need to detox your body. On social media, many influencers talk about detox teas and juices. They say that these drinks clean your body. This is a myth.
Yes, I agree.
Our liver and kidneys already detoxify our bodies naturally. There is no special tea or juice that works better than our own body.
Social media can be useful, but it can also spread false information. It is important to check facts and not believe everything we see online.
That's all for today's episode.
We hope you enjoyed listening to our podcast.
Thanks for listening to us.
See you in the next episode. Bye!
Eating healthy as a lifestyle. Hello everyone and welcome to our podcast. Today we're talking about eating healthy as a lifestyle. Many people think healthy eating is difficult or boring.
Yeah, or that it means you can never eat your favorite food again.
Exactly, that's what a lot of people believe. But today we're going to talk about whether that's actually true. So let me start with a simple question. What does eating healthy as a lifestyle mean to you?
For me, it means making better food choices every day, not just going on a diet for a few weeks.
So it's not something temporary.
Right, exactly. It's more about building habits that stay with you for a long time.
Like something that becomes part of your daily routine.
Yes, and it shouldn't feel stressful. Healthy eating should feel normal.
Why do you think healthy eating is so important?
Well, healthy food gives us energy and helps our body function better.
And I guess it also helps with concentration.
Yes, definitely. Especially for students. When you eat better food, you often feel less tired and more focused.
Which is something most students probably need.
Exactly.
So, what kind of food do you usually eat?
I try to eat a lot of fruits, vegetables,
good choice.
And also whole grains like brown bread or rice.
What about protein?
Yes, that too. Things like eggs, fish, chicken, or beans.
So mostly natural foods.
Exactly. And I also try to drink a lot of water.
Instead of soda?
Yes, although sometimes I still drink soda.
I think everyone does sometimes. Let me ask you something honestly. Do you ever eat fast food?
Of course.
Really?
Yes, healthy eating doesn't mean you can never eat pizza or burgers.
That's good news.
The important thing is balance.
So healthy most of the time
and treats sometimes.
That sounds realistic. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start eating healthier?
I would start with small changes.
Like what?
Maybe add fruit to your breakfast or eat more vegetables during the day.
So you don't need to change everything immediately.
Exactly. Small steps are easier to keep.
That's really good advice. Thank you for being here and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you for inviting me. I hope more people see healthy eating as a lifestyle, not a strict diet.
And that's all for today's podcast episode. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi everyone, hope you're doing great.
So today we're talking about something that's super popular right now, vegetarian and vegan diets.
Yeah, it feels like everyone either is vegan or at least knows someone who is.
Exactly, but the big question is it actually healthy or can it cause problems?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, let's start simple. What's the real difference between vegetarian and vegan?
Alright, a vegetarian doesn't eat meat or fish, but they can still eat eggs and dairy.
So cheese pizza is still okay?
Yeah, totally. But vegans, no cheese pizza, no eggs, no milk, nothing from animals.
Not even honey, right?
Right. Vegans avoid everything that comes from animals.
And why do people choose this?
Well, usually for three reasons, health, animals, or the environment.
Okay, so let's talk about the good stuff. What are the benefits?
First of all, it can be really good for your heart. Plant food usually has less bad fat.
And more fiber, right?
Exactly, which is good for digestion.
I've also heard people lose weight more easily.
Yeah, because fruit, vegetables, beans, they usually have fewer calories than meat.
And it's better for the planet.
Definitely, meat production creates more pollution than growing plants.
So it sounds perfect. Is there a catch?
Well, before we talk about problems, let me ask you some. Do you think everyone should go vegetarian?
Honestly, I think reducing meat is a good idea, but I'm not sure everyone needs to completely stop eating it.
I see your point, but some studies show that plant-based diets can lower the risk of certain diseases.
True, but a balanced diet with some meat can also be healthy.
That's fair. I think the problem is not the meat itself, but eating too much processed meat.
Exactly. Maybe the real solution is balance, not extremes.
So maybe more vegetables, more plant-based meals, but not necessarily 100% vegan for everyone?
Yeah, I think it depends on the person and their lifestyle.
I agree. What works for one person may not work for someone else.
Okay, so now let's talk about the risks. What can go wrong?
Well, yes, if you don't plan your meals, you can have problems.
Like what?
For example, not enough protein.
People always say that. Where do you get your protein?
Exactly, but you can get it from beans, lentils, tofu, nuts, etc.
Okay, so protein is possible. What about vitamins?
Vitamin B12 is the big one. It's mostly in animal products.
So vegans need supplements?
Usually, yes.
Anything else?
Iron can be low. Plant iron is harder for the body to use.
So what should people do?
Eat smart. Combine foods well. Maybe talk to a doctor or nutritionist.
And maybe don't live on vegan burgers and fries?
Exactly. Just because it says quote-unquote vegan doesn't mean it's healthy.
So yeah, vegetarian and vegan diets can be really healthy.
But only if you plan them properly.
And maybe the key word today is balance.
Exactly.
If you like this episode, follow us and share it with your friends.
And tell us, would you ever try a vegan diet?
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. Today we are talking about food waste and how to reduce it at home.
Yes, this is something we all deal with. I think everyone has opened the fridge, found an old piece of food in the bag and thought, oh no, I forgot about this.
Exactly, and when we throw food away, we are not just wasting food, we are wasting money.
And it's not great for the environment either. When food is thrown in the trash and ends up in the landfills, it creates harmful gases, so reducing food waste actually helps the planet.
So let's talk about simple things people can do at home. I think the first step is planning.
I agree. Before going to the store, check your fridge and kitchen shelves. See what you already have, then make a list of meals you want to cook for the week.
Making a shopping list really helps. When you go to the store without a list, you often buy things you don't really need.
That used to be me. I'll just buy whatever looked good, fresh bread, snacks, extra fruit, and then some of it would go bad before I use it.
Another important thing is understanding the dates on food. Best before usually means the food might not taste as fresh after the date, but it can still be safe to eat.
Right, people often throw away food too quickly. Of course, if something smells bad or looks strange, don't eat it, but don't throw it away just because of the date.
Let's talk about storing food. The way you store food can make it last longer.
Yes, for example, keep older food at the front of the fridge. That way you see it first and remember to use it.
That's a simple trick, but it works. When food is hidden in the bag, we forgot about it.
Also, try not to buy too much fresh food at once. Fruits and vegetables are healthy, but they can go bad quickly if you don't use them.
Good point. Now, what about leftovers? A lot of food waste comes from leftovers that no one eats.
True, but leftovers can be used in different ways. For example, leftover chicken can go into a sandwich, a salad or a soup the next day.
And cooked vegetables can be added to pasta or rice. You don't have to eat the same meal again, but you can change it a little.
And if you know you won't eat something soon, freeze it. Bread, meat, soup, even cooked meals can be frozen.
The freezer is really helpful. It gives you more time to eat food later instead of throwing it away.
Another tip is to cook smaller portions. Sometimes we cook too much and then no one wants to finish it.
Or you can serve smaller portions first. If someone is still hungry, they can take more. That way less food ends in the trash.
I also think we should be more creative. For example, old bread can be used to make toast, small fried bread pieces, or even dessert.
And dry bananas are perfect for smoothie and banana bread.
So to sum it up, plan your meals, make a shopping list, store food the right way, use leftovers and freeze extra food.
And remember, you don't have to be perfect. Even small changes can make a big difference over time.
You save money, you waste less food, and you help the environment. That's a win for everyone.
Thanks for listening, guys. We hope these tips helps you reduce food at home.
See you next time.
Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our podcast. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Nicola. We're really glad you're here today because we're discussing something that affects almost everyone. Fast food versus homemade meals.
Exactly. We all eat every day, but we don't always think about what we're eating and why we're choosing it.
So today, big question is, what's the real problem? Is fast food the enemy or is something else going on behind the scenes? Why is fast food so popular?
Let's start with the obvious. Fast food is everywhere. You can find it on every corner.
True. It's not just restaurants. Delivery apps make it even easier. You don't even have to leave your house.
Exactly. With just a few clicks, your food arrives in 20 or 30 minutes.
And let's be honest, it tastes good. It's designed to taste good. A lot of salt, sugar and fat makes it addictive.
That's a good point. Fast food companies actually study what makes food more attractive and to the customers.
Plus, it's often cheaper than buying ingredients for a full homemade meal.
But in the long term, is it really cheaper? Health problems can cost much more later. The health perspective.
That's where the real concern begins. Eating fast food too often can lead to obesity, heart disease, diabetes and low energy levels.
Not to mention poor concentration and mood swings. Food affects mental health too.
Exactly. When you constantly eat processed foods, your body doesn't get the nutrients it needs.
But here's something interesting. Not all fast food is completely unhealthy.
That's true. Some places offer salad, grilled options and healthier alternatives.
So maybe the issue isn't fast food itself, but how often we eat it. The advantages of homemade meals.
When you cook at home, you know exactly what you're putting into your body.
You can choose fresh ingredients and more vegetables and reduce salt and sugar.
And the cooking can actually be relaxing. Some people use it as a way to reduce stress.
Also, family meals are important. Sitting together and eating at the table improves communication and relationships.
That's something fast food can't really replace. The real problem, lifestyle.
So if we compare everything, what's the real issue?
I think it's our modern lifestyle. We're always busy. School, work, social media, and responsibilities.
Yes, time management is a huge factor. People often say, I don't have time to cook.
But sometimes it's not about time, it's about planning.
Exactly. If you plan your meals in advance or cook large portions, you can save time during the week.
So maybe the real problem isn't fast food. It's habits, stress, and lack of balance.
I agree. Fast food once in a while is fine. The problem starts when it becomes a daily routine.
So today we learned that fast food isn't necessarily evil.
Homemade food isn't always perfect either. It depends on how it's prepared.
The key is balance, awareness, and smarter choices.
Small changes like cooking at home 2 or 3 more times a week can improve your health significantly.
So ask yourself, are you choosing convenience or are you choosing health?
Thanks for listening to today's episode.
If you enjoyed it, don't forget to follow our podcast and share it with your friends.
See you next time.